Hello, children. I welcome you to another session of mineral and power resources. So far, we have discussed about the minerals. Today, we shall be discussing about power and energy resources. Power and energy resources are classified as conventional and non conventional resources. Conventional resources are basically those which we have been using since a very long period of time, and they are mainly fossil fuels and firewood. They cause pollution, they are harmful for the environment, plus they are exhaustible, that is, they are non runnable in nature. If I talk of fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, natural gas, they are formed by the dead remains of plants and animals, which have got converted into fossil fuels due to high temperature and pressure. Now, coal is basically made of carbon, so on burning, it releases lot of carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas. Now, coal is of four types: anthracite, bituminous, lignite, and peat. The best variety of coal is anthracite because it contains 90% carbon, and the worst is peat. We have coal mines in India in Jharia, Dhanbad, Bokaro, Raniganj, Girid, and the new mines are found in Tamil Nadu, Telangana. Coal is such an important ingredient for iron and steel industry and railways. Now, next, firewood. Firewood means the logs of wood which are used for burning and heating in the rural areas. But then, firewood causes deforestation, and the use of wood also causes a lot of pollution and various lung and heart related diseases, respiratory diseases. Petroleum, also known as black gold, is drilled. It is found in the layers of sedimentary rocks. And petroleum, it is actually crude oil. Through fractional distillation, we obtain petrol, diesel, kerosene, wax, plastics, and lubricants from the crude oil. Crude oil is found in Bombay High in Mumbai, Krishna and Kaveri, near Krishna and Kaveri rivers. And petroleum releases sulfur dioxide, which causes acid rain, and it is really harmful. However, we are dependent upon crude oil for a number of needs, and we obtain so many things from crude oil: petroleum gases, petrol naphtha, kerosene, diesel, wax. Then, if I talk of natural gas consists mainly of methane gas, and natural gas includes LPG, CNG. They are cleaner fuels. The USA is the largest producer and consumer of natural gas, but then again, natural gas releases carbon dioxide. It is very easy to transport natural gas and LPG because they are in the liquid and the gaseous form, but then the problem is that they release carbon dioxide, and the pipes need continuous repair, otherwise the pipes might have some leakages. Then, if I talk of hydel power, that is hydroelectricity, which is produced by creating dams. It is undoubtedly non polluting in nature, very simple. You make water to flow from certain height, and then the turbines run and produce electricity. But then the turbine blades, they make kill the fishes and the water animals when they come in contact with the blades, and a lot of people have to be displaced to create dams. So these are the various problems associated with hydroelectricity. Now, if I talk of non-conventional sources of energy, first we have solar energy. Solar energy is found in abundant in India because we live in a tropical country, subtropical country basically, and it is again non-polluting, inexhaustible. Earlier there was a problem that when the sun set, then we could not harness solar energy, but now we have PVC cells, that is photovoltaic cells, which can store the sun energy, solar energy, and solar energy can be used to run solar heaters, solar cookers, solar dryers, and besides that, traffic signals run on solar energy, and it has a huge potential in our country. Now, if I talk of wind can also help to run turbines, but then the problem is that there is no constant velocity or speed of wind. It is a clean and a safe fuel, but then the turbines, when the birds come in contact, they are killed, and wind doesn't move constantly at the same speed, and the wind farms require huge space. But then wind energy is also very promising in nature. We have wind farms in Madurai, that is Tamil Nadu. Then we have them in Karnataka, Gujarat, Rajasthan. If I talk of nuclear energy, it is non-polluting again. It is non-polluting in nature, and disintegration of radioactive elements produce such large amount of energy through nuclear fission. The process of harnessing energy is called nuclear fission. But then the problem is that the uranium and thorium, which are radioactive elements, they are very harmful. And then the second problem is how to dispose of this radioactive element. We have to dispose them off very safely, otherwise they may lead to various genetic diseases. And if leaked, then nuclear power plants can cause great disaster. For example, Chernobyl in Russia, there was a disaster caused due to leakage. Nevertheless, we have nuclear power stations in India, in Narora, that is in Uttar Pradesh, Tarapur in Maharashtra, Kota in Rajasthan, Kakrapar in Gujarat, and Kaiga in Karnataka. Now, next, if I talk of tidal energy, the tides which are caused due to the gravitational force of the moon can help to produce electricity, and we can install turbines and produce electricity. We have tidal farm in Gulf of Kutch in India. Next, if I talk of geothermal energy, see, there is a lot of heat energy inside the earth, right? And due to that heat energy, water converts into steam. But as soon as it reaches the surface, it again cools down and converts into water. And through the cracks and the fissures which are there, this water comes out. And these spots are known as hot springs or hot spots. And this water can be used to produce electricity if you install a turbine above. It can be used for cooking, heating, bathing, etc. In Manikaran Gurudwara in Himachal Pradesh, they cook rice using geothermal energy. But then the places where geothermal energy is available, that is far away from the city. So even if you produce electricity and you supply it in the city, lot of energy would be lost during transmission. So this is another problem. Now let's talk of biogas. Biogas, see, you put all the organic waste in a biogas digester, and then it undergoes anaerobic respiration, that is anaerobic decomposition without oxygen, and then all the waste converts into methane, which is used as a fuel, and manure, which can be used to make the soil fertile. And biogas is really effective in the rural areas. And see, we need to conserve conventional sources of energy because they cause pollution, plus they are exhaustible in nature. And we need to switch over to the non-conventional sources of energy, and we need to find new options. And till we find more viable options, it is important that we conserve energy by using pressure cookers, because pressure cookers use less of energy. By going for options like carpooling, cycling, using public transport wherever possible, using LEDs. We need to conserve energy for a better tomorrow. With this, I wind up. Thank you and have a great day ahead.